Hello and welcome back to our podcast, Wasted. Today, we're going to talk about something a little... Okay, it's not that different what we're talking about.
It is different.
Is it though?
It's more educational.
Okay, well, it's basically, we're talking about something that you wouldn't think about when you think of pollution.
But who thinks about pollution?
Exactly. Which is why we're going to talk about mobile phones and pollution and how the most unlikely things causes the creation of CO2.
Last week, we spoke about some foolish gadgets. I hate saying that word.
I know.
I feel like I don't suit my saying it.
Foolish.
So we spoke about some foolish gadgets that we both had. So if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch that now. But other than that, let's kick right off.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that cars, aeroplanes, things like that pump out a lot of pollution. Mm-hmm. But we think you probably haven't thought about your mobile phones and how much carbon dioxide is created just from those little gadgets that we carry around all the time.
I have a question for you. What's the real CO2 cost of your phone?
Well, obviously, I mean, I don't know how much your monthly phone bill cost.
Diabolical.
Yeah, some people it's a lot. But it's actually more than that. So basically, our phone is responsible for generating a lot of carbon dioxide, like a lot, especially if you buy brand new, because carbon dioxide comes from sending an email, texting, scroll on your phone, the manufacturing the manufacturing
process.
I
got ya.
And even like taking a picture. So if you take a selfie, that generates carbon dioxide, which most people don't know.
You don't think about it when you're on it or taking photos. I take so many photos a day of literally everything, especially now spring's happening. I'm like, that flower looks nice, I'll take a photo of that. And you don't actually think about
or
the repercussions
screenshots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
So we already know from season 1 about what materials are in your phone and why it matters. And even the first episode of the Ewaste and what it does to the environment. I was feeling really passionate about one of the episodes. You know,
I remember
what's
that
inside.
documentary, yeah.
Because of the documentary, like, if you, I've said it in the last episode, if you haven't watched it, please go ahead and watch it. Mm-hmm. Because the fact is, people are actually doing this for us. Like, human people, AI doesn't do this for us yet. So there's actual humans doing this, getting the materials and like hurting themselves and risking their lives for us just to have a phone in our hands.
And like, is it even worth it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, like making a mobile phone is where its carbon footprint starts. So if we break it down, we've got some stats here, which we love.
Love a stat.
Your smartphone's carbon footprint is mostly created before it even gets in your hands, right? So about 80% of a phone's lifetime CO2 emissions comes from manufacturing alone. So mining raw materials, processing, assembling in factories and waste.
Crazy. 80%.
80%.
Obviously, I knew it was going to be like a big chunk. But 80%.
It's huge.
It's crazy.
It's
We
huge
haven't
amount.
even got our phone yet.
No. The process.
Yeah. I mean, like carrying on from that, taking the iPhone 16, for example, Apple reported it was like 56 kg of CO2e per device over its lifespan. So basically, think about that's 45 kg that is created during production. That's a lot. Yeah. And obviously that's because materials like aluminium, cobalt, lithium, and obviously the rare earth materials are all energy hungry when it comes to mining and refinement. Think about this just with the iPhone 16. So you can imagine how many iPhones Apple have released in that time span. It's crazy.
And they're popping them out left, right and centre.
And thinking about iPhones, obviously the new ones now go up to 1 terabyte and they have like, 128 gigabytes, 256, 1 terabytes. So the more storage capacity that your phone has, the higher its carbon footprint. So the difference between those two is 18 kg of CO2e. 18 kg of CO2e. CO2e. That's huge.
That is massive. Thanks for that fun fact.
Thanks.
We're going to be chucking them out left, right and centre today.
Me, oh my God.
It's quite hot. Right, we always talk about iPhones because, you know, we're iPhone users, but I feel like we should spill some tea about some Samsung. The latest Samsung Galaxy S25 is reported to have a carbon footprint of 45.7 kg. It is better than the iPhone 16.
Yeah. Oh wait, that's really bad. Because that's better than the iPhone 16. I was about to brag about it.
Oh yeah, no, don't brag about it.
That's terrible. Wow.
And 40 kg of CO2 are generated during material sourcing and production.
Yeah, it's very carbon intensive, isn't it?
Yeah, making phones is very carbon intensive. Fun fact, in 2024 alone, manufacturers sold 1.22 billion new phones. Billion, by the way.
Not even million.
Not even.
Wow.
That's insane, isn't it?
I can't even visualise it.
Just to help you visualise it, it's as much as everyone, so every single person in the UK, having 17 mobile phones. 17. I mean, my parents probably have 17 in their drawer.
Yeah, can you imagine?
That's besides the point. Let's move on. But it's just like us having 17 phones. Like,
wow.
You can't imagine that, really, can
No.
you? Obviously, transporting all these phones from assembly lines to stores all around the world contributes to the carbon footprint of every single unit.
Wow.
It's not much in comparison to manufacturing, but around 3% of phone CO2, so it does add up quite quickly.
Yeah, it does. I obviously, we knew this information, but you know, like when you have all the numbers.
They're in front of I keep looking at it because I'm like,
it's a bit
like there's so many numbers on
intense.
this.
Sometimes I think, like, how is it legal?
Oh, yeah.
There should be like a limit on how many phones a company can sell per year, or how many you can buy.
I think they care.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't care when they're making so much money.
Yeah. What I'm most excited about is how carbon dioxide, or the carbon footprint, can be increased just by using your phone, because until we were like actually planning this, I didn't realise it. So according to Apple, 18% of iPhone 16 emissions come from the use of it, compared to Galaxy S25's 7% of the carbon footprint, which is obviously twice as much.
I'm looking at the numbers, I can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, but obviously manufacturers only account charging the phones as use. Obviously we know that that's not the only thing that we do with our phones, is it? We do way more. Browse the internet, streaming, gaming, sharing photos, emails, social media, like that. All of that will bump up the CO2 even higher.
Yeah.
And I think majority of people didn't even know that, because we didn't even know that until we started to look at the facts.
Most of this information is going to go like in one ear and come out the other. But like, just so you know, and you have some background information on, like, we're not telling you now, oh, by the way, it's really bad for the environment, the fact that you're using your phone, so can you just stop? Like, we're not here to tell you to never use an electronic ever again.
You have to, like, your job requires it.
Oh, absolutely. The main point of this is to not let it get wasted.
Basically.
Did you know that simply sending a regular email, just regular, no attachments to it, just
so no pictures,
no pictures,
files,
no attachment,
okay.
Nothing. It produces a carbon footprint of around 4G and 50G for something attached to it.
What? Well, that's mad.
Scrolling through Instagram isn't great either. Posting a photo creates 0.15 G of CO2. And if you're doom scrolling, as I'm guilty of,
as you do,
even for as little as 1 minute, just 1 minute, emits 1.5 G of CO2. So I think we should let that sink in for a second.
Yeah, because like, I didn't know my selfies were that dangerous. Number one. Number two, can you imagine how long we scroll on TikTok and their videos?
Oh my God, can you imagine me?
Oh, like hours though.
Most of my life is on TikTok.
A
like,
Sunday
what?
is like TikTok day. Do you know what I mean though?
In the book, How Bad Are Bananas? The Carbon Footprint of Everything, Mike Berners-Lee's calculations suggest that 69 kg of CO2 is produced per year when using the phone for 3 hours and 25 minutes a day. And some of us do that twice as much.
Yeah, like what?
I do that twice as much.
What was our thing that we looked at on our phone? How many
screen
hours?
time?
Yeah, screen time. That's like double that.
We're contributing to this as well, do you know what I mean? But the thing is with us, we won't let our phones get wasted in the end.
Exactly. Like if you fast forward a few years and you're ready to get a new phone, obviously the cycle will start again.
Yeah.
So if you're to recycle your old phone, that responsible disposal will count for at least 1% of its lifetime CO2, which might not sound like a lot.
Yeah.
But just think, like, it's not getting wasted, like you said, and there's a very high chance that it will be refurbished again.
Yeah.
So basically, buying a refurbished phone slashes emissions by up to 60 to 70% compared to a brand new one, which is huge. No new mining, no new manufacturing, because obviously you're just keeping those existing phones in circulation, which is fantastic. Can actually be as low as 24 kg in comparison to the 66 kg for a new one.
That is crazy.
And plus it keeps e-waste out of landfills.
Yeah. Just to sort of briefly wrap up what we spoke about is we're not here to tell you to never use an electronic for the rest of your life because it's so bad to the environment. It's just the fact is we use electronics, we use our phones all the time, but we're just here to say that at the end of your phone's life, don't let it get wasted and do the right thing and recycle your phone.
Yeah, like just be mindful basically.
Yeah.
Like look at the better options. Not saying to, like you said, don't need to completely transform your habits, but start somewhere.
Like this podcast isn't about buying a refurbished phone because we touch on that all the time. Maybe choosing a brand new phone with smaller carbon footprint to begin with, or convert to just buying a refurbished only.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have a refurbished phone. It's basic. It's the same
the
thing.
same.
If not better, because you know it's been double checked.
Yeah.
And you know that everything's perfect because people were triple checking that to make sure it's good to go. So we hope you enjoyed that very educational podcast that we haven't done. I feel like we haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while.
What we talk about next week, Yas?
We are talking about why batteries get worse over time. Tune into that if you want to basically preserve your battery or adopt healthier charging habits and stuff like that.
Like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you next time. Bye.